Hello and welcome to Official Xbox 360 Magazine's OXM report, and this week we're talking to one of the founding members of BioWare about the latest instalment in their epic fantasy RPG series.
Excellent. So I'm here with Dr. Ray Mazika from BioWare to talk about Dragon Age 2.
Hey.
Tell me, what are you changing about this edition of the Dragon Age series?
Well, we took a lot of feedback from the fans in the original Dragon Age Origins, and really we stuck with the stuff that the fans loved. You know, the characters that had personality and the choices with consequences and the dark, mature, heroic fantasy world. And we built on that, and really, it's got the same depth and richness of tactics and strategy and how you progress your abilities. But what we've added is this really intense action RPG experience, so that you push a button, something awesome happens, and really just drop you right into the combat and feel like you're right in this combat scene. And battles, have the immediacy and the intensity that you love to see in an action RPG. But at the same time, they have the depth and richness that you love to see in a Dragon Age game with a lot of tactics and strategic choices. You also have a lot of improvements and innovations in the way we tell stories. So we have what we're calling a frame narrative, where you do awesome, cool moments from this life of a hero or heroine named Hawk, and it's from a decade of their life to become the champion of Kirkwall. So each chapter reflects a key heroic aspirational moment, and then after that you get sort of a personalized narration of commenting on what you've done from some people kind of saying, that's not what I heard, this is what happened actually. And then that creates the framing of the narrative. And as well, the story has tonal dialogue icons and dialogue wheels reminiscent of Mass Effect. Same great story and writing that you expected from Dragon Age, so if you love that, you're going to see more of that here, but it's that much more accessible and immediate and fun, and you can just jump right into the story. The graphic fidelity was, there was moments in Dragon Age which were really beautiful, and there are moments that may be a little inconsistent, so one of the areas we're working on as well is the graphic fidelity and trying to make sure that it's consistent and really high intensity and beautiful characters and environments all through the game. So those things together, combine them with the strong foundation of features we're bringing over from Dragon Age Origins and the amazing world of Dragon Age. Dragon Age 2 is going to be freaking awesome.
It strikes me that people who enjoyed Mass Effect but were perhaps a bit scared of a more technical fantasy RPG might get on a bit better with this second game. Was that part of your approach?
Well, we want to pull in all the fans who love Dragon Age and the first Dragon Age, and we want to draw in even new fans. So fans that might be more pulled in by an action RPG, they're going to love Dragon Age 2. And the fans that love the mature, gritty, bloody universe of Dragon Age and the interesting dialogue and conversation choices and strategy and tactics of Dragon Age Origins, they're going to love Dragon Age 2 as well. So I think it's going to pull in both fans, new and old.
So you've announced the Rogue today. Tell me about that. Is that a class? Is that a character choice at the beginning of the game? How does it work? Yeah,
there's basically 3 character classes you can choose from. We've shown Warrior a lot, and now we're showing the Rogue a lot more. That you can be a rogue yourself as your main character. There's rogues and it could be companion characters that could join your party, and they really have some interesting skills and abilities that warriors or mages wouldn't have. So they can kind of supplement your party and kind of flesh it out. So it's kind of the traditional fantasy iconic character of a rogue that's kind of more stealthy and elusive and deadly and precise, and they tend to use careful strategic attacks, pinpoint attacks, backstabbing, things like that, rather than sort of the frontal attack and the big frontal assault. So they kind of supplement your tactics, and they provide a different kind of approach to combat. So they're very fun.
Tell me about Isabella. She looks like a potential romantic interest.
Indeed, yeah. So there's romance in the game if you choose to pursue it. It's all optional, but it's definitely there. And yeah, she's a beautiful lady, and if you choose to spend the time and get to know her a bit better, maybe that might be one of the outcomes you could see.
What's her background?
I don't think we've announced too many details on that. Some of that is part of the story. I want you to explore that and find out more. She actually made an appearance in the original Dragon Age Origins, so I won't say any more other than she was in an interesting part of town in one of the cities.
So you're hoping to bring back quite a few of the characters for fans of the first one then, yeah?
Yeah, there's some characters that make reappearances, some new characters as well. There's characters that didn't have a huge role necessarily in Dragon Age Origins, which we thought were cool characters. This game starts in the time of the Blight, when Hawk is fleeing the events in Lothering. So Lothering is being kind of sacked by all these Darkspawn, and he or she has to become the champion of Kirkwall like a decade later, basically. And so this is the start of that adventure, and that's where that's why the timeline kind of overlaps between the 2 games.